Okay. Sorry about the delay. The bird was actually stuck outside. Um, did not want to come down from a tree, and that took quite some time to get him down. He was playing and didn't want to come down. So let me just do a couple of things here. Let me share. I'm gonna just take a few seconds and share the no bird. I'm gonna share the link. Hold on. Okay. Let me share a link here. Everyone is free to come to the panel if they would like. Let me open my YouTube so I can monitor the chat as well. Okay, hold on just a moment. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Oh, by the way, if there are any questions about anything at all, I'm going to post the email for Veiled in Virtue. It's vinvcttv@gmail.com. And here, let me just type it. I'm going to type it right here. I put another M. Sorry about that. That is the Veiled in Virtue email. So you can reach me that way. Let's see. I'm going to open my YouTube and make sure that the live stream. Can the people who are watching from YouTube, can you see the live stream link, the StreamYard link in the chat? Hold on. For some reason I'm not seeing it. Let me refresh. Seeing it. Okay. You see it? Okay, good. There we go, just in case. All right. So there's gonna wait for a couple more viewers to hop on. And before I talk about what I need to talk about this evening, you feel free to go if you want to go. I have someone backstage. So if you're backstage, you need to show me your camera so that I can see who you are, or type in the chat who you are. Hold on. So it says Ultimate Islam. If you don't show your camera, I'm not going to let you onto the panel. You need to show me who you are. So we've had issues in the past. We've had a lot of issues in the past with people, being anyway, showing like private parts in order to get our live streams banned. So I see you, Brother Asad. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Asad.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome. How are you doing tonight?
I have a bit of a cold, actually. I'm not feeling very well.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. My daughter actually has COVID right now. Um, she's alhamdulillah, she's at like the end of the illness, but she's getting much better. So if you're backstage, you have to show me your camera so that I can see who you are. I'm not going to let you on backstage. I'm not going to let you on if I don't know who you are. Keep that in mind. So hold on just a minute. We've had issues before. So what's going on, Brother Asad? Did you watch the Shura trial?
Oh yes, alhamdulillah, I got to see that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
it was kind of interesting. At first, I thought that Ziad Karam had something of value to prove, but he didn't bring anything. And yeah, it was very clear and concise. So
It
alhamdulillah.
was. It was extremely clear and concise. Um, I don't know what could be like more clear and concise than an actual interview with the actual fire chief. Hold on. Radical moderate, I don't you're you're saying like, no, I'm not going to turn on my camera. Um, well, if you're not going to do that, then there's not a way for me to verify who you are. Then I'm not going to let you on the panel. Because anybody can type in their, what they want their name to be for using StreamYard or whatever. So I don't know if you want to, because people have even imitated me and done that. They've used my icon. They've typed veiled in virtue, but it was somebody who popped on and like showed like flash pornography, and it was clearly not me. So because it was a guy. So yeah, so that's a policy. That's my personal policy for my channel. And most of the Consider This TV channels do that as well. So for obvious, I'll go ahead and start talking. So for obvious reasons, I wasn't part of the hearing because I was one of the people that Ziad was attacking, was talking against. There were several of us that he was talking against on various things. But the principal reason, like the reason that we were having the trial, was to present evidence regarding the fire, whether it took place or not, with those people, at that time, at that address and everything, which Kenny supplied more than 12 pieces of evidence, including a video interview with the fire chief standing in front of the fire station, verifying the fire report. I'm not sure how much more accurate you can get than that. That's kind of like literally the most accurate ever. But anyway, but throughout this whole, big situation, it wasn't obviously just Ziad, attacking about the fire. There were, multiple things, multiple people, and multiple issues. Some of the things that he attacked me about, I mean, it was so crazy that he literally, like, for example, my husband is Pakistani. His parents are from Pakistan. His parents immigrated to Kuwait. They moved to Kuwait, and then that's where my husband was born. So he is a Pakistani person, but he's from Kuwait. Do you see how that works? Like that's if I'm like, Syrian, but my parents moved to Canada and I'm born in Canada, I'm Syrian, but I'm from Canada. This is a very common thing. So I've said my husband's Pakistani before. And a different time I said, my husband's from Kuwait. And he actually went to my Facebook, got a picture, like referred to a picture of me and my family, and said, oh, look, she was claiming that her husband is from Kuwait, but what did she say before? He was from Pakistan. And look at their faces. You can clearly see that they have features from Pakistan. And those are the kinds of like that level of stooping to the such low, like such low levels, to try to attack, to try to so desperately prove that someone is lying or deceitful or lying about various things. He has no idea what he's talking about. You know, that's like I just, for example, just explained about, you know, my husband's family. It just totally went over his mind, completely and totally. And he ranted about that for quite a long time.
No, it's called living in someone's head rent free. He's clearly
I live in his
just
head. I live in his
yeah.
head rent free, completely, Brother S said.
One of the things that I really liked about the Shura Council, though, was just the way that Brother Mujahid Islam, kind of controlled himself, because I noticed that
He
throughout the
did.
video, Ziad Karam basically like was exposing him, bringing up his past, and Brother Mujahid didn't have to stoop to that level. So
No,
I
he didn't.
really appreciate that about him.
No, he didn't at all. And what Ziad did by doing that, it's a very ugly thing. You know, it's a very, very ugly thing. What I really did not like about that is,
and it's very hypocritical too. Sorry to
extremely
interrupt. It's just
hypocritical. It's
like when
extreme.
you see his videos, he always starts off with
Bismillah,
in the,
alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah.
yeah, and then he goes on trying to expose Muslim brothers about
Mm-hmm.
something that's completely irrelevant. Like it has nothing to do with
Extremely
the fire.
hypocritical.
It has nothing to do with the water well project. Why are
Nothing.
you bringing up the fact that he married a non-Muslim and all this stuff? Like nobody needs to know any of that.
Well,
And
he
this is in
told
the
us
time.
that he was engaged to a non-Muslim, by the way.
Ziad?
Ziad. Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't remember hearing that, but
Yes.
wow,
And
that is very hypocritical.
let me tell you
Then.
something else. Let me tell you something else. Hold on. It is grace and joy. I will talk about that another time, probably. Why am I covering your face? I know you changed your thinking on this. I would also appeal to you that even Dr. Ridley doesn't cover her face. I know it's a preference. Correct. It is a preference. And women are not required in Islam to cover their faces. It is a optional way of covering for women. So the reason why am I covering my face is because I want to. I choose to do that. And it's kind of like also my business, and it's not hurting anybody. And I've also been thinking about it for quite some time, and it's been on my heart for quite some time. And it's really in Islam, people can dress however they want to. There's no mandatory thing, because every rule in Islam you have to follow. You have to be willing to do it. You have to choose to do it. Yes, there are rules in Islam, but you have to voluntarily do that. You have to voluntarily choose to do that. So it's not like someone is back here knocking at my door, forcing me to do anything. It's because I want to. It's in it, like when people see nuns, they don't go and ask them, sister, why are you dressed like this? Can you tell me why you're dressed like this? The Bible doesn't say for, even though the Bible does say for women to dress in a similar manner to me with the head covering and everything. And nuns do it for two reasons. It's out of a desire to be physically modest, and also out of a desire to be more pious. And also, as like, for me personally, it's a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor that I proudly wear. This is also the way that the wives of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to cover their faces as well. So and keep in mind, I've been a Muslim for 15 years, and I only just started wearing niqab this year. This is only this year. And Grace, I'm not Islam. Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia are not Islam. I am speaking on the rules of Islam. Okay. I'm not talking about what separate countries or separate regions or whatever choose to implement in their, in their society or whatever. That they may or may not be following what Islam says to do. They may be severely oppressing people. Enforcing a dress code is not in Islam. So, and I'm not saying that hijab is completely and totally optional. I just said this. There are religious rules. But an overlying rule is that there's no compulsion in religion, and therefore you have to voluntarily follow all these rules, like praying 5 times a day, giving your charity, all of this stuff. So it's, you have to voluntarily follow your religion in order for it to be valid. So anyway, back to what I was saying. This isn't exactly a super duper open panel, but I wanted to get back to what I was saying a minute ago. Yes, he did ridicule Kenny for, he did in a sense ridicule Kenny for being married to a Christian before. There is nothing, first of all, there's nothing in Islam that prohibits that, number one. Number two, Kenny himself said that he was not, I think in his own words, he said that he wasn't a super religious guy, that he was not much of a practicing Muslim in those in those years, 5 to 10 years ago. And nobody has any place to condemn someone for that at all. Everybody goes through times in their lives where they're not practicing, and then they are practicing. They're practicing better than they were before. They were more loose or whatever before. These are like tides. Nobody can ridicule anybody for not being a better practicing Muslim in their past if they are doing better, following Islam more, and getting doing it more happily. Nobody can do that. That's stupid. That's really, really stupid to say, you did this in 2015. What is it, 2021? 6 years ago. Look, it's the bird. He was really proud of himself because he climbed up in a tree outside. Birdie, be quiet. Be quiet. So
everybody has
anyway,
a past, We're not all like
everybody
we're
does have a
human
past, and
beings. We're not
completely
prophets. So
correct. That is completely nothing to
even the
do.
Mehdi, when he arrives, he's gonna have like a
Mhm.
past of his own, and then he's gonna change. He's gonna become pious, like after a certain event that occurs.
You're
So
right.
it's
You're
I
exactly
just
right.
to me it's just the hypocrisy that really got to me. Like I don't understand how a Muslim brother could like, or somebody who claims to be Muslim at the very least could like, try to give da'wah to somebody and then at the same time just expose them completely of, what they've done in the past as opposed to the relevant topic, which is the fire, the
Right. It
water
was not relevant.
project. It had nothing to do with any of that,
No,
so.
it was character assassination and ad hominem attacks.
But
And
why? But what I want to know is why did he bring up that other lady Mindy, and then why was he bringing up you as well? Like he was also talking about you two.
because we stood up for Kenny.
So whoever was that
Yes,
it? Oh,
correct.
okay.
Yes, it's
So
he
he's just
did
a hasid then. He's just like he's just a hater.
very yes. Well, he's a narcissist. And he's a grandiose narcissist, in my opinion. It's very, uh, whenever anybody at all disagrees with him or says, "Hey, wait a second, that's wrong," or "Whoa, hold on, this isn't right," you know, this is not this is not okay. You can't do this. He he doesn't react in a calm way or have dialogue or anything like that. He reacts in a way where he has an immediate fit, and then he'll go and make, multiple videos saying that the people are he's going to destroy them. It's going to hurt. I'm going to tear you from inside out. I'm going to rip your limbs off. I'm going to, he says all those things, and he'll say like really stupid things like what I just mentioned about my husband and his family. Like that how is that relevant to anything, number one? And number two, he doesn't even know what he's talking about, because you see what I mean? He does not know what he's talking about. He even talks trash about my bird, seriously, and about my baby turtle
Wow.
as well. It's very
Yeah,
very.
I heard something about the turtle. I didn't even know you had
He
a turtle
talks
until
trash
he
about my
brought it up.
turtle. It's ridiculous. He's very very. And the other thing is that, well, first of all, uh, like I watched his video and I made a couple of notes. The very first thing here is that the the trial, um, the overall thing is that the overall like condition was going to be that the person who they ruled in favor of, the person that they ruled against, meaning the one who they decided was not telling the truth, which was unanimously by all the judges ruled against Ziad. Okay, everybody decided that Ziad was not being honest. Um, the conditions were that that person was going to have to remove all of the slanderous material, the slanderous media, like in this case, like the videos, posts, whatever it is, and then just simply leave the other party alone. And obviously, Ziad is not doing that because he lost the trial, but he's continuously putting out videos still. He's put out one more today, or was it early morning hours, I think. And he's what he said is, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna expose the lies in the trial. I'm gonna expose the lies in the trial. This is what happened." No, it does not work like that. You can't just say that if somebody decides against you that they are lying, or that they were paid off, or that it wasn't fair, or it was rigged, or whatever the case is. It's not. No, it does not work like that. So also, So jumping into it, there was right off the bat in that at the 58-second mark in that video, Ziad also claimed that he did not or that he did not ask Kenny to perform his marriage. But I was present. I myself was present when he did ask Kenny that. We were all, this was after a show, after we had done a show. And it was, the show was over and we were all backstage. It was Kenny, myself, Ziad, and there was another brother back there with us, but I can't remember if he left the backstage area right before or right after Ziad said that. But I was present the whole time, the entire time. Ziad claimed that he did not ask Kenny to perform his marriage, but he did. He literally asked him to perform his marriage.
But you don't have that on record? It's just
It was after a show. So you know how after we do StreamYard, like if I ended this broadcast right now, you and I would still be right here, but it would be after. You see what I'm saying? But
yeah, I know.
You know, it's not recorded or whatever.
I see.
So what Ziad said is, you guys, I'm really happy. I'm like more than happy. This is essentially what he said. I'm really happy. I'm more than happy. I have some really good news. I'm engaged to be married. And then what he said is that I want I want Kenny to be there. And then he said after that something like not only to be there, but to perform the nikah, which is a Islamic marriage.
Subhanallah.
Yes, he did, and I was right there. I witnessed it. So, and then he claimed that he's always known that Kenny was a fraud, not a real imam. But why would you ask him to perform your marriage if you had any doubt whatsoever about his legitimacy or anything like that? It does not compute. So he also said that he, at the 2-minute and 43-second mark, he said that I spoke up right when I realized that he was a scammer, which is that can't be true, because number one, all of this happened after he said racist remarks against Turkish people. And then we objected, and then he retaliated against us.
Yeah, I believe I was there. It had something to
Exactly.
do with like an E sound.
Exactly.
Like
what he was mad about, it was Turkish people's English transliteration. Okay, not translation, transliteration of Arabic to English transliteration, and how they frequently, in doing that, substitute E for where many times others might put an A.
Right. I remember because that was the first stream that I've joined.
Exactly.
And that was my very first stream, and I tried to tell the brother to
I remember you were
down,
there. Yeah.
Because we don't know what their intention was behind it. Allahu alam, right? Maybe they just grew up like that or something.
It's simply how they talk. It's just simply how they talk. So it's just simply how they talk. And also this is transliteration. Okay. This is transliteration, because Arabic does not use A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It uses alif, ba, ta, tha, all of that, those letters.
Right.
And that, because of their accent in their native language, Salam would sound like selam. And so they maybe would write SELAM. He went on and he went on a rant and said how much that pissed him off. And then he even went on to say that this was a bid'ah, which means an innovation in religion, that it was that degree of bad, that it was like an innovation in religion, which is literally crazy, because how people write transliteration to English has absolutely nothing to do with religion. It's nothing to do with Islam. Nothing at all to do with, be quiet, bird. Nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with religion whatsoever. It's simply their accent. And
Exactly.
I mean, like, seriously, shame on him. That is just.
Mm-hmm.
Then
I mean, some people do it on purpose. Like you could tell, like when somebody, because the Arabic language is very rich in, meaning.
Yep.
So like, for instance, when you say, you know, I'm a Muslim, you're supposed to pronounce it with like an S as opposed to like a Z, because that changes the meaning completely. Sorry if you can't hear me. It's just that I'm kind of underground. I'm like in a basement.
I hear you. I hear you just fine.
Okay. And sometimes the internet cuts in and out, so apologies in advance. But like if you were to say, like, I'm a Muslim with the Z sound, it sort of changes the meaning, right? One is referring to being the somebody who submits his will to Allah, and the other is the one who oppresses, essentially. It's like two complete opposites, but it's all about the intention in the end of the day. It's like,
Right.
if you're trying to, like, it's not like, nobody goes out of their way to purposely say that they're an oppressor, when they clarify, which religion they believe in. You know what I mean? So I don't know why he was like losing his mind over that, just from the whole E sound.
I'm telling
that,
you,
to me,
I've heard him make a comment about something like that, something related to Turkish people. I can't. I'm not going to say what, because I can't exactly remember the words or what it was about. But this was not the first time hearing that.
No, but sometimes, no, but to an extent though, he is like correct. Like there is some people that like go out of their way to make it like they're Islamophobes, for instance. They'll purposely change the meaning of like the word, not so much names, because I've never heard like, I don't know the background of somebody calling themselves, Miriam as opposed to Maryam. To me it's the same thing, but then again, I don't know how to speak Arabic, so I can't clarify that. But like, when it comes to specific Arab words, that could be a little detrimental, if not used properly in the context.
It's really just the accent that they have. It makes it's the, if you hear like Turkish language, and we actually have several Turkish viewers that we. I'm so sorry. Hold on, just 1 second. I have to put the bird back on his cage, so he's climbing all over the place. I'm sorry about that. No more. No. I'm so sorry. I didn't want him to climb down and start messing something up. Hold on. Sorry. It's what the point is that hold on. Hold on a second. Sorry. So okay. Yes, what it really comes down to is the accent that they have in their native language. And Brother Asad, are you Pakistani or Bengali or Indian by any chance?
Oh no, I'm originally from Somalia. My parents are both from Somalia.
A comparison that I know about. with Urdu because my husband, speaks Urdu as well. But never mind. I was gonna make that example, but it's like it has to do with just the native language that they speak. But what it really comes down to is it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how they transliterate things into English, because English doesn't have anything to do with like religion. And he went so far as to say it was a bid'ah, as if they were trying to introduce changes to Islam because of transliteration spellings. And
Right.
that is way far. That is extremely far. And that is very insulting. That's extremely insulting.
Yeah, because you don't know somebody's intention, right?
That is extremely insulting.
Maybe they're having like a hard time speaking the language, or they're trying to get to
Yeah,
understand,
it
like,
could very well be.
right. You don't know somebody's intention until it's made clear, right?
That's
Until it's
right.
made very public.
That's right. And people
So,
don't just walk around here like, ooh, how can I mess up Islam? I think I'm gonna transliterate this to English in this different way. Like that's not what they do,
exactly.
That's ridiculous. People, no, that is just really ridiculous. So moving on, he claimed that he spoke up as soon as he found out, but isn't that interesting that as soon as he found out happened to be immediately after a personal conflict? I don't think that's a coincidence.
No,
I don't
that's
think that's a
intentional.
coincidence. Of course it's
Yeah.
intentional. Of course it's intentional. It absolutely, of course it's intentional. And when another thing is, he keeps saying it's not racist. What I was doing is not racist. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you saying repeatedly over and over that it's not racist does not make it so. It does not mean that it's not racist. If you made a racist statement, or said a racist thing, and it was more than a statement. He rambled about it. You were there. You heard it. So just because you claim, oh no, it was not racist because I don't think they're, I like Turkish people, so I'm not being racist. It doesn't work like that. Words carry, words, I like, if I say I like Mexicans, but I think Mexicans smell like beans, I can't do that. Do you understand? I cannot do that. That is disgusting, and
Right.
I mean, but if I keep insisting, no, but I like them and I didn't mean it that way, and I'm just very sensitive to smells, and they probably work in a restaurant, and no, it does not, no. If the whole world is telling you, hey, listen, that sounded really bad, can we just can we just please move on? Aisha, can I say that Irish people drink? Everybody drinks. Everybody drinks. I mean, that's not really what we're talking about here. And that's not what he said. And he went on a rant about it. So anyway, please join the chat, you guys. I mean, I don't want to do all this back and forth. I don't want to do this back and forth stuff in the comments. Are Irish people alcoholics? That's a stupid question. Why? I don't know why. That's stupid. That's really stupid. If you want to be stupid and ask stupid questions, come on the panel and ask it face to face, because I'm not in the mood to do this little, back and forth, whatever. but you just can't. You can't claim that something isn't racist. You can't hold up a book and say, "Look, I bought a book. I bought a book about Turkish, so therefore I like them, and therefore I like them, and I can't be racist against them. See, I bought this set of language books, and I'm learning Turkish too." That does not mean that the statement that you made was not a problematic statement. We decided to, because of what he said and the fact that he wouldn't apologize for it, what he kept saying is, "I'm sorry that you misunderstood." He never said, "I'm sorry for saying it." Do you see what I'm saying? He just kept saying, "I'm sorry that you misunderstood. I'm sorry that people got offended. I'm sorry." He kept phrasing things like that. And so all of the channels decided together that we didn't want him on Consider This TV anymore because of that, because he was
good.
He was extremely, and it was at that point that he started to get really mad. And it was at that point that he started lashing out against people. This is a very stupid statement. No, that is not how it works. You can't make fun of Irish people, and as soon as it's about Turkish, it's a problem. When you make fun of any group of people, it's a problem. That's stupid. I posted the link for you to come to the panel because I'm not going to do this back and forth. I don't know why you guys keep doing that, thinking that I'm not the one today, for real. I'm not the one. Oops, I messed up the setting. Okay, here we go. So he then argued that going to at the 3-minute 15 mark, he also then argued that him going to crossing the crescent did not mean that he was consorting with Islamophobes. He and Kenny together would go head to head with those people from the Crossing Crescent together.
That to me, I can't really comprehend that. Why
a
Muslim
I sure
would
can't.
do something like that.
Right.
They would go out of their way to
right.
join a Christian, platform and then insult, their fellow Muslim. That to me doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's not that it's
how can you claim
it's
to
not
be
the fact
Muslim?
that it's a Christian platform. There's absolutely no problem, with other religious platforms. The fact is that he went with a purpose. He knew that the Cross and Crescent was like a big enemy of Kenny Bomer. And because he knew that, he said, "Okay, here we go. I'm going to go seek out Kenny's enemy to give me a platform so that I can gather allies to gang up on Kenny." That's exactly what he did.
Crazy.
That's precisely what he did. This is like 8th grade playground buddy stuff. So, and then
pretty much, yeah.
He tried to argue at the 8-minute 15-second mark that no, it doesn't mean that I was consorting with Islamophobes because I didn't go to them talking about religion. Excuse me. Ziad, if you're watching, you know exactly what you did, exactly what you damn did with your trifling little rear end. You went to okay, by the way, the Cross and the Crescent is it's on Patriot Radio, which has been recognized by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate speech platform. Okay? A hate speech platform. They have one purpose, and that's to be against Islam. It's not simply a Christian platform.
I didn't know that actually.
They weaponize. Their goal is to weaponize their mental like version of Christianity and say Islam is the enemy. They say Islam murders babies. They say Islam is this. They are literal enemies of Islam. They actively try to demonize Islam every day, regularly.
And Ziad Karam joined
When
their platform,
he joined,
insulting Brother Mujahid Islam.
yes,
That's crazy.
yes, he did. He absolutely did that. So, and then
That's
he came over and he was
bad.
like, he was saying, "Oh, well, that doesn't mean that I joined the ranks of them. It because I wasn't talking about Islam." That's what he said, and I've never heard such a ridiculous statement. Never ever heard. Aisha, you're bothering me.
Did he at least like apologize to Brother Mujahid by any chance, or because I didn't really follow up with
So
the video afterwards.
right, so backing up, he after he came and now I wasn't there when he made this apology. It was, and keep in mind, at the point that he did make the apology, it was okay. It was part of, not all of, a few of the Consider This TV brothers on a panel, and they were discussing. Do you remember when Hatun, what's her name, got attacked, got slapped in the face or punched recently?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. So they were having a stream about that. And during the stream about that, Ziad popped on like unexpectedly. He came onto the stream. What he said is that, hi everybody. I'm here. I've had like a change of heart. I've had, let's please hear me out. I had a life-saving double surgery. I almost died. I've got swelling in my face right now, so I can't turn on my camera. Yet he was.
Oh, I was there for that. Yeah, I was
right.
there for that stream as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then he said, "I don't know anything anymore," or "I don't believe anything anymore."
Correct. What he said is,
Something to that
I
extent.
don't.
Yeah.
Kenny was trying to say, okay, what are you apologizing for? And he said, I don't know anything anymore. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know anything anymore. He repeated that statement like 4 times. And obviously, that's a little suspicious because that's not really apologizing for what you did.
Right.
That's saying, well, I'm not sure if you did or not. Exactly. That's like saying, well, I'm not positive you did, but it's, that's what it says to me. So, and keep in mind, I wasn't there. This was after he made, like a 45-minute video, like ranting about me, ranting about Charles, ranting about lots of them about Kenny, and one about Mindy too. And he does this when he gets mad. He'll just make these videos, and like what you see right now, he'll do it and over and over and over. Like it's an issue. It's really an issue. And it was at this point that, after they got off the live show, because he was like, why are you doing this in public? First of all, on a stream that's not for this purpose, and second of all, can we please talk after the show because they wanted to finish the show. And then backstage, he started talking, about me. And, Kenny said, "Hey, listen, no, you need to apologize to Katarina too. And, you made this video about Mindy. You slandered her too. And you slandered Katarina too. And, you can't just not apologize to them too," or something like that. I wasn't there, so it was something to that effect. I'm not not obviously the exact words, but that's what happened. And that's the apology, the apology. However, Ziad keeps saying that Kenny stabbed him in the back. He's using that statement over and over and over. This is what he's referring to when he's saying that. We had already pre-recorded a statement on of the whole Consider This TV panel. We had done that earlier in that same day. Okay. It was already done, and it was going to be uploaded the following morning. Kenny, and what it consisted of is the whole panel saying, okay, my name is Katarina. This is my channel. I'm part of Consider This TV. I condemn what Ziad is doing. And, I stand with Brother Kenny. I've been witness to much of this whole thing. And it's, this is not okay with us. Basically, that was the gist of it. And we all went around each one and Brother Abu Yazid was there, Brother Jamal, Brother Charles was there, me, and Brother Muhammad with Coventry Faith Foundation was there as well. And then Brother Kenny. I think that was it. And so we all said that statement. Now, we had already done this before Ziad even apologized. So now Kenny and I discussed this, hey, do you think we should still release the statement? Because he came and he gave this suspicious apology, and Kenny and I were talking because we were suspicious of the apology. And number one, he had not apologized to me at all. He hadn't said a single word to me. He hadn't reached out to me. He hadn't done anything to me. So that was number one. And number two is he hadn't apologized to Mindy. So at that point, there were 2 men and 2 women that he attacked. Is there a video on Ziad's first apology? So we have facts on, let me see. I heard Kenny accepted the first apology, but can I link this video? Yeah, I can find it. It'll take me a minute, but yeah, I can find it.
Yeah, it's available. You just have to watch the YouTube videos titled "Question Kenny for an Hour." It's in one of the first top 10 videos.
Right.
So I'm not too sure which one,
it's
near the end.
Boomer Live. Hold on. Okay. Let me, while I'm talking, I'll try to get, hold on. Okay. He said that he was giving an irrevocable apology that he would never take back. Let me text Kenny actually to see if he can send it to me so that I don't have to quit talking and just leave you guys hanging, while we're here.
So, Sister Katerina, I gotta go. It's almost Maghrib Salat here.
No problem.
But I did want to bring up something. I actually wanted to It was a video that you did with another individual. I believe her name is Sister Nawal, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Uh-huh.
It was somebody had asked a question
Uh-huh.
regarding the jinn
Mm-hmm.
specifically, and then I remember I had brought up the ifrits because
Mm-hmm.
there's different types of jinns. There's the regular
Yeah.
jinns, and then there's ifrits, and I know you two didn't pretty much like know about what that was, but
Yeah.
it's an actual like it's a part of like the jinn culture. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
basically of the same. It's there's also a verse in the Quran talking about the ifrits, so I'm not making this up, but basically they're just more powerful jinn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam when he
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was trying to he had assembled all of his jinns, and then he assembled his animals as well,
Mm-hmm.
and then he
Mm-hmm.
was inquiring about the bird. I forget the bird's name. Hoot hoot, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really long time, but like that I've looked up at the story in the Quran. But basically, one of the jinns, you know, because he wanted to take the like the bird when the bird came back, and he you know basically told Sulaiman alayhi salam why he was late. It was in regards to him seeing this palace and a beautiful queen, and that he got sidetracked and distracted because of it. And
Mm-hmm.
so you know, and that they were worshiping the sun. Um, and so basically, I don't remember all of the story, but the part that talks about the Ifrits, it
Mm-hmm.
was in regards to when Suleiman alayhi salam wanted to gather the throne from this
Mm-hmm.
queen.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the jinns offered and said, by the time you stand up, you know, I'll be able to grab the throne for you. And then one of the other jinns, a more powerful jinn, referred to as an ifrit, said, by the time you blink, I'll be able to grab the throne for you. You
Mm-hmm.
know? And then he took that offer, and by the time Suleiman alayhi salam blinked, the throne was there. So yeah, it was just in regards to
Mm-hmm.
that because I forget the actual question of who asked that question. I'm
I
not
think
too
I
sure.
think we were talking about how do we know if an animal is an animal or an animal is a jinn or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not too sure if it was Mindy that asked the question or if it was somebody else.
I think it
But
might have been
yeah,
Indy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Allahu alam. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, yeah, like ifrits do exist. But you know, you
Yeah.
don't have to take my word for it. You could also
Oh
research the
yeah.
same story, and then
Great.
you'll see. So, but yeah, I do have to leave. It's almost Maghrib. I gotta make wudu and head
No
out. So,
problem, brother. No problem. Thank
all
you for
right.
joining. It was
Yeah,
nice to talk to you.
nice to talk to you too. And salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everybody.
Walaikum salam wa
Take care.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bye bye. So yes, block of cheese. I'll get Kenny to send me that, and I will link it. I will link it in the chat for everybody. But it was on one of the. If I go and find it myself, it'll take like time because I would have to watch. I would have to watch the videos and scroll through them. I'm gonna get Kenny to do it for me and then send it to me on Messenger so I can send it to you guys. Um, so essentially, uh, at the nine, okay, so where are we here? Um, at the 5 minute mark, uh, he really upset me um, by mentioning um, Brother Paul Williams. Okay, here you go. Kenny just sent it to me. I will send this to you guys. Hold on. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. So here we go. Okay, did it work? Let's see. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hi, Riley. Assalamu alaikum, Riley. Okay, why is it not? Okay, hold on. I have to click on the link, I think, and open it, and then. Okay, guys, so I'm going to tell you the minute mark. So it's at the 1 hour and 40 minute, 18 second mark. Okay, so it's at the 1 hour, 40 minute, 18 second. Okay, and then I'm going to send the video right here. I think I have to open it first. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry about the delays. I'm not like super tech savvy. All right, there you go. That is the video in which he sent his apology. And you can go to 1 hour, 40 minute, 18 second and see the exact spot that he, made the apology or whatever. And so the issue is that with that apology is that he would not apologize for what he did and who he did it against. He essentially said, no, not essentially. What he said is, I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe anything anymore. And he said that 4 times. And that was an issue, obviously, with everybody. It was not just Brother Kenny. It was an issue with everyone because the block of cheese, I posted it already. If you can eventually post that video of Kenny with Ziad's called apology after your show. I posted it in these comments. Can you not see it? It's up there. I posted the video, the YouTube link, and I also posted the timestamp. Just look up a few comments. Anyway, so we all were not comfortable with that because remember, his crazy claims are affecting all of us. We are all in the Consider This TV network. He claimed that what his claims were that Kenny made up the fact that his family home burned to, had a house fire, that they lost all their things, and he started a GoFundMe for his ex-wife and their son, because of the house fire, that they lost everything. And so $4,220 something was donated in that GoFundMe. And he claimed that Kenny lied about this. He claimed that Kenny lied about this and essentially to get money. He kept the money himself. And why this is a huge problem besides the obvious reasons that Kenny did not do that. Number one, I'm Kenny's neighbor. I live in his city. So I live 15 minutes away from Kenny. We physically live in the same city. So we live in the same community. So what he knows, I know. What he sees, I see. It would not be any kind of issue for me to fact check any sort of thing. And I was also present. I was there. The whole Houston Muslim community was there and fully aware of this fire when it happened, because because the Houston Muslim community pitched in to help them, because Kenny's well known in the Houston Muslim community. And this event is well known too. So this is, another thing is that because he's spreading the rumor that our donations are questionable on Consider This TV, that also affects our charity, which is we do a water well campaign. And that could potentially cast doubt upon the donations towards our charity. So we cannot have that. Understand? We've got work to do. Our goal in doing Dawa is to get money for our charity campaign. And this is extremely important for both Brother Kenny and myself, because we've both lost a child. Kenny's lost a son, and I've lost a son too. And this is something that our hearts are bound and called to do. And, we built my son's well through the Consider This TV, donation water well project. And Kenny built his son's as well. His son has more than one. And Zia doing this, it pulls heartstrings that is beyond acceptable. It's beyond acceptable for anybody to do this. It's beyond acceptable, absolutely beyond acceptable. He has campaigned with us. He was part of Consider This TV. This is it's just so. And so that is the reason why it affects us as well. So it's not just Kenny that is affected. It's all of us. And of course, we stand by Kenny because we know that Kenny is not that type of person. We know, especially me, I've known Kenny longer than all of these people. Kenny's one of my closest friends, and he's my mentor as well. So it's just, it makes me personally very, very angry, and I'm very protective of Kenny when people do this to him, because he did not do any of this. And it really hurts my heart, when someone you love is getting targeted by somebody who is just so full of hate, and their one goal is to just cause damage to somebody's reputation, cause damage to somebody's, project, to somebody's, whatever. Yes, Riley, he did just ramble a bunch in the video. You're right. He did. He also, at the 5-minute mark, he mentioned a brother by the name of Paul Williams that wasn't even part of the Shura. He was originally going to be, but he started insulting him, like his personal life, that has nothing to do with any part of his, religiosity. It has nothing to do with anything. Brother Paul is a very good da'i. He's a nice guy. And to the best of my knowledge, he is a very kind person, and his personal matters are none of your business whatsoever. So you need to keep his name out of your mouth. Keep people's names out of your mouth. That's what bullies do, that have these grandiose delusions about themselves where they think that they're more entitled more deserving, smarter than other people. They have more they're more automatically more deserving of things than other people. It's grandiose narcissism. Yes, so then he goes on to continue at the 6-minute mark that going to Cross and Crescent had nothing to do with religion. And so therefore he's innocent and fine, that it does not collaborating with non-Muslims. It's not collaborating. It's not going. And man, come on, we already talked about this. Do you think everybody was born yesterday or something? Come on, man, come on. What you did is walk your trifling butt over there to that platform in an effort to demonize Kenny. That's exactly what you did. And you attempted to participate in character assassination with the people who regularly do his character assassination. And that's why you went there. That's exactly why you went there. So, no, it's just, no. It's they actively campaign against Islam, actively. And they were happy to have you. They were extremely happy to have you too. They were happy to have you because they thought, oh yes, we're gonna cut our knife right into the, between the toes of the Muslims. Yes, look what we've got. They must have thought that you were a complete idiot for like how fickle you were, from bouncing from over here to being to fighting against them for what you believed in and standing up for what you believe in, following your morals, to, hey, I've got some beef with Kenny. Can I have a platform to come and talk? Man, what? Stop. I can't. No. So, as I said, nobody on Consider This TV believed his apology was sincere. Nobody. It was not just me. I especially did not believe it. Kenny was the one who was actually most inclined. He really wanted to put it behind them. I said, listen, I don't think we should do that, because I feel since he didn't apologize for anything specific, I'm not sure that he's really sincere. I think he's more concerned with his self-image than righting the wrongs that happened because of him. I strongly believe that. He also gave the response at 9:25, at the 9-minute 25 second, that brother Muhammad Bati came and praised him for apologizing. Well, brother Muhammad Bati is not part of Consider This TV. He has never been part of Consider This TV. He used to be a regular viewer of Consider This TV. When this fight happened, he immediately sided with Ziad. However, I've got messages in my inbox of him saying, I'm so sorry, Katerina. Nobody thought of you throughout all this, and it made my heart hurt. Something like that, in so many words. But I just wanted to make it clear that however, he was a valued member of the, a regular viewer, but he is not part of Consider This TV, and he isn't part of this situation. So what he thinks doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in a way that's to be taken as an insult, but I mean, we can't just say, okay, what do all of you think about all this? Well, number one, you weren't there for any of it. Number two, you're not part of the people that he has done this to. And number three, I mean, that's not how this works, It's just, you can't. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. You can't just say, well, this person thinks I'm sincere. So, and he has no reason to lie. So therefore I'm sincere. That's not how it works. It's your actions that tell whether or not you're sincere, your actions, what you do. So, yeah. So this is the part that really, really upset me here. Ziad went on and on about how all convicted felons have a public record in the USA. That's true. Convicted felons do have a public record in the USA. But it's not just convicted felons that have a record in the USA. It's anybody who has ever been to court for any reason, and that's public record. It's anybody. It's, for example, if you committed a petty crime, a small crime, and you got convicted with a misdemeanor. There's different levels of misdemeanor. There's like A, B, C, I think. Say you, I don't know, stole some groceries from Walmart or something like that. And then you had to go to court about it later. And you got convicted of a misdemeanor, not a felony, a misdemeanor. That goes on your public record. That is a public record for you. Say that you got in trouble with your taxes, like your business, you didn't pay your taxes on time. You could potentially have to go to court and work that out. That's now on your public record. It is absolutely not just convicted felons that have a public record. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. I have one of my friends, she had a traffic ticket in another state, and she didn't know about it because it was from one of those red light cameras. And so she obviously, when it happened, it didn't make it to her. And she got like a major ticket or something like that sat still. And then her court date rolled around and she didn't know about it. And she was supposed to appear. She had no clue because she was not informed. And all of a sudden, she's like got a warrant for her arrest for missing court, for failure to appear in court in another state. Well, obviously she had to go to court and correct that issue, but it's still on her public record, even though she was not convicted of any crimes. You see what I'm saying? It is not just convicted felons. It is anybody who does anything with the legal system. And it doesn't mean it's not even exclusively for criminals either. So let's not try to go there and not try to demonize somebody who has committed crime in the past, maybe has not committed crime in the past, maybe has done something wrong in the past, but that has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with today, and has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that his child's house burned down. This is a completely different issue. And here you are digging up somebody's past and trying to say, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. Like it's some sort of like that makes you special, or that makes you some sort of like Inspector Gadget or something. And it really makes you look like a disgusting individual. So, assalamu alaikum, Wissam. Nice to see you. So anyway, needed to correct that bit of misinformation that he asserted that it was only convicted felons that have public records in the United States, because it is not only convicted felons. It's anybody who has an encounter with the court system, whether that is a criminal issue or a non-criminal issue. That's on your record. That I'm really disgusted by, yeah. Riley said, what? It backfired too because Kenny's path wasn't nearly as bad as Ziad being a creep and looking it up. Absolutely. Ziad is a creep. He's very creepy. He's an extreme creep. We'll talk about the porn that came from him in my Facebook inbox in a minute. I'm serious. That he claimed he was hacked, but the circumstances were extremely suspicious, and I don't believe it. So anyway, so I wanted to mention that about the public record issue. And then he over here, he's at 10:56, he started asserting that Kenny was an alcoholic. Where does anybody get that? Even if somebody had an interlock device in their car, that does not mean that they're an alcoholic. That does not mean that they have a problem drinking alcohol. That doesn't even mean that they've ever been drunk before. It means that they've had like an encounter with some level of alcohol and their legal issue. I'm disgusted at him too, believe me. He's a creep. He really is a creep. So he started saying that he drinks, and now it escalated higher to he's an alcoholic. There is absolutely no person, and let me tell you, even if Brother Kenny used to be an alcoholic, does that make him a bad man? Does that make him a bad man? If Brother Kenny used to be addicted to alcohol, had a disease and was addicted to alcohol, does that make him a bad man? Does that make him a man that has no morals? And let me be clear, Brother Kenny is not and has never been an alcoholic. But I'm just trying to explain right now that yes, Riley, you're very correct. The uncle of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to drink before he was a practicing Muslim. Kenny also said that, he was a Muslim for a time, but was not a very practicing Muslim. But now, alhamdulillah, is a practicing Muslim. And anybody who goes and tries to deceive, tries to make fun of somebody for their past behavior, why is he bringing up his past? The reason he's bringing up his past is because he's a failure of a man. He has no evidence on his side. He has nothing actual of substance to say. And so he's trying to bring up Brother Kenny's past and twist it around in a way to use it against him, to try to make him look like a bad man. But Brother Kenny is not a bad man. He is not a bad man. And what I'm trying to say is, even if someone did have a problem drinking alcohol, that still does not make them a bad man or a bad woman. Come on. I mean, he's over here saying, like, pretending to be God, saying like, oh, you're a bad man, you're an alcoholic. No, you're not. No, what? Where do you get this information? Like, he's just making things up at this point. He's just making things up. And then at the 11-minute mark, it really disgusted me. He said, imagine how bad this guy was. Imagine how bad this guy was. How does he know anything? He doesn't. Number one, he was not there. I mean, he absolutely, alcoholics are not bad people. They are not bad people. People who consume alcohol but are not alcoholics, they're also not bad people because of that. It's not, people who were not religious, or maybe call themselves, they were wild before, and now they live like a more religious life. They are not bad people. They are not bad people at all. And, people who talk about people who have issues in their life, who have, problems in their life, that have depression in their life. I'm not saying any of this applies to Brother Kenny. I'm just saying, I'm a medical professional, and I'm just, what I'm trying to say is that people's lives are much more complex than what you think you're seeing. You might see someone with an alcohol problem. No, what that person is a rape victim who has been traumatized severely, who has violent flashbacks every day, and is desperate to get rid of the pain that this caused her. Obviously, I'm giving an example, but what I'm trying to tell you is that a person is not just two-dimensional. Understand? A person is not just two-dimensional. So people, and also like people who were not religious, same thing. Not religious before, more religious now. Like, for example, I'll use myself. I didn't cover my face before. I do it now. Does that mean I was a bad person before? What? No. Does that mean I wasn't that I wasn't a good Muslim before? No. It means that I was at a different point in my life with a different level of practicing. Excuse me, hold on. Danish. Some water, please. Thank you. Please. It means that I was at a different point in my life, that I was a completely different, I had different circumstances. Maybe I was not as emotionally strong then as I am now. Alhamdulillah. And I've been strengthened by Allah. I mean, people's lives are just as complex as yours, maybe more so. Let's be realistic. People have complex lives, and for you to dig into past is low. It's very low. It's just very, very low. He also mentioned that at the 1326 point, that two Muslim, okay, you know what, you're bothering me. I'm blocking you. Okay. Mentioned that at the 1326 point, that two Muslim brothers remember this post. talking about the January 1st post. That is not how it works. Okay? I can't come and say, well, I have 2 Muslim sisters who remember this happening, so therefore I'm right. That's, it's, you know, you can either supply the witnesses so that the witnesses can talk about that, or you can shut up, because you can't, unless you're like too, I don't know, you don't know how the proceedings of a normal trial work. You can't talk for other people. You can't talk for other people. You can't talk for other people. You can't say, well, I have 2 witnesses and this is what they say. They say that they remember that post and they say it's 100%. So therefore I'm trustworthy. I'm right. You know how stupid you look when you do that? Like, do you understand that, I mean, that is not, like, imagine if you went to court and, if you went to court and somebody said, well, okay, do you have any proof that he made this post on January 1st? Do you have any proof of that? Well, yes, I have 2 witnesses that 100% remember it. And this is what they say. Oh, come on. That would be like, well, okay, congratulations. I'm happy that you have that, but again, do you have any proof? That is not proof to say that you have 2 witnesses and then proceed to say what the witnesses think. I mean, what? Okay. All right. So, and then we've got problems right now about how low Ziad goes, because I keep saying it's not going to surprise me, but then it ends up surprising me, like how low and stupid he gets, because it really is stupid. It just really surprises me. When somebody is married to someone of another religion, you cannot be upset if they want to practice their religion. Okay? If they want to have festivities about their religion. That's not okay at all. And so, because his ex-wife, Kenny's ex-wife, was a Christian who celebrates Christmas, clearly she put up a Christmas tree in their house. I mean, what do you expect? You expect a wife to be just completely subservient to, I mean, come on. And then you literally go and say, well, look, here's the Islamic ruling on having a Christmas tree from a picture in 2016. Is that a joke? You're going that far to look up Islamic rulings on having a Christmas tree from 6 years ago? I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I keep saying, I'm not going to get surprised. Keep saying I'm not going to get surprised, but then I just get surprised. So, I mean, he was married to a Christian. I mean, that's it. Well, you think Kenny put that up and, Kenny put that up and then was like, yes, I'm going to dance around this Christmas tree and sing fa la 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 la, because yes, I'm a Muslim and this is what I want to do. No, it's because his wife wanted to do it. And he was not being a crap husband. And I mean, he was not being a crap husband and forcing his wife to forego her festivities. I mean, come on. You can't be married to someone of another religion, like a Christian or a Jew, and then expect them not to practice their religion. And Ziad, you are also, or what you told us is that you were engaged to someone who is not Muslim. You told us that she was a Christian as well when you were talking, but in the same conversation before you asked Kenny to perform your marriage. You told us that she is learning about Islam and that you're teaching her about Islam, but that she's a Christian. So you have no room at all to try to hate on him for being married to one. What? Come on, man. That's just great. That's really like out there it's really out there. And what we're not going to do is call people names. That's what we're not going to do. I mean, that really. So at the 18-minute mark, actually at the 17-minute mark, you say, if I showed you how organized I am, nobody would open their mouths ever again. This is how organized I am. There it goes with that grandiose narcissism again. You have these grandiose ideas about yourself. These grandiose ideas about yourself that you are more skilled, better, more like smarter, more attractive, prettier than other people, more deserving, more worthy. It's not true. It's not true. Nobody thinks that's true. Okay? And then no, you're not. You're not a special cookie. You're not the brightest crayon in the box. No, you're not. You're not the juiciest marker in the box either. Come on. Nobody thinks that you're the next level of great. Nobody thinks that being, trilingual, quadrilingual is some sort of immaculate gift. That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal for people people in Southeast Asia. That's a norm. Okay. Like seriously, that's a norm. It is, you are not special. You like to brag about your language ability. It's not special. I'm just telling you the truth. My husband speaks like 6 languages. It's not like, I'm not talking about knows a little bit. I'm talking, including English, that's 7. So just saying, you're not like unique and special. And nobody's scared of you. You're like, if people knew, I warned you not to mess with me, this is going to be your last straw. Nobody's scared of you. I mean, what are you going to do? Draw devil horns on me, put me on a video and say, oh, she wears niqab and she's stupid. Oh, you've already done that. You've already put devil horns on somebody else, on Ijaz Ahmed, I think. You make names for other people. You're very, very not normal in the upstairs department. That's what my 7-year-old said. So I'm just saying. So on the 18-minute mark, you accused Kenny of actually having done a Facebook post on January 1st. And then you assert that he deleted it. You assert that he deleted it after that. Well, then you say that that he reposted on the 13th. Well, listen, everybody in Houston knew when this fire happened. I talked to Kenny regularly, like anywhere from 3 to 10 times a day, because we're always talking about, what's going on. We're talking about Dawa. What are we going to do? Hey, I have this idea about the show. Hey, we talk about stuff all the time. It's always Dawa related, but not to forget, we are neighbors. We live in the same city, a few minutes drive from each other's house. When this happened, he told me right away. When it happened, he told me right away. I started spreading the word to our local Houston Muslim groups right away on the 13th. So that morning, I was spreading it all around, spreading the GoFundMe all around, trying to rouse our local community up for, support. And he, we absolutely were getting, people ready. We were getting people rounded up. We were getting people to donate. We were getting people to share. I was checking on him. I was, I'm a clinician, a medical clinician. I was asking, are they okay? Have they gone to the hospital? Have they been seen? We need to do that. Are they hurt? Because you can get injury from smoke inhalation and everything like that. What's the story? What's happening? I was all over, we were all over. We are close friends. And you also commented on the post on January 13th. Oh my God, what happened? What happened? How did this happen? And then he responded to you, Walaikum salam. We think it was a space heater. I don't know. It's a little bit. So anyway, what we're not going to do though is call people names. That's something you regularly do though. Like somebody can just go to your channel and see that you call people names. You make a mockery of their names. There's actually, I believe if I'm not wrong, and I might be wrong, let me look it up to make sure I'm not wrong. I'm just looking this up to make sure. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I found it. So the verse continues here. So this is verse 11 of Surah Al-Hujarat. It says, O you who have faith, do not let men make fun of other men. Perhaps they may be better than the other group of men. Also, do not let women make fun of other women, as it may be that they are better than the other group of women. And the verse continues, and do not defame one another by using bad names. There we go. I knew there was a surah about calling people names. So since you're over here looking stuff up, trying to be Sheikh Ziyad, worrying about Christmas trees, I got one for you. I got one for you. You're not Islamically allowed to call people names. The things that you've been doing, you're extremely good at it. You just called Mindy dumber. You've called Kenny kinky boner. You've called people, all these people you've called names. Shaitan Ahmed, you call, this is like fun for you. You make up a name, you use it. It's something that I probably used to do in like first grade, grade 1. I'll go ahead and give you the verse if you want. Since you were very worried about Christmas trees, this is actually a big deal in Islam. So it's Surah Hujurat, and then verse 11, ayah 11. So that's what we're gonna talk about. You're like the playground. I don't know. You're like a little boy in a man body that just does not register how truly crazy you look. People, it's grandiose narcissism is what it is. So you can go ahead and consult Al-Hujurat, ayah 11, and fact check that for yourself. So you're not allowed to call people names in Islam. You're not allowed to call people names, and you're not allowed to make fun of people either in Islam. So I don't know. Maybe you should probably stop. That's a big deal. That's a big deal in Islam. You're focused on having a Christmas tree. I don't know. So, anyways, it's that's stop. It's really too much. At 23, 33, you again start talking about, you assert that Kenny is an alcoholic. Again, we've already covered this, that he is not. He's not been drunk, because he's already told us that he hasn't been drunk in his life. We have no reason not to believe that. And even if he has, that does not make him a bad person. It does not make him a bad person. It does not make him a mean person. It does not make him a person who calls other people names. It does not make him a person that, wishes harm on others. It doesn't make him a person like that. Absolutely doesn't make him a person like that. So, this is funny. At 21 minutes, you showed some properties of an image. That could be literally the properties of any image. There is nothing that shows that those properties are the properties of that image, of that doctored screenshot image. That random thing of properties could be of like anything, any picture, any whatever. You just pulled up a screenshot of properties, and you're like, look, this proves it. No, it doesn't. It does not prove anything. Are you, man? No. This is not how these things work. This is not how these things work. You're also over here trying to say that Kenny is bomb droppers. Is that what we're doing now? At the 25-minute mark, you're saying Kenny is bomb droppers? That's impossible. It's because Kenny has been doing a show, was talking continuously, looking at the camera continuously, and bomb droppers was in the chat actively talking the whole time. Did he not? He did see it. He said that he thinks that Kenny probably paid him off. It's that serious. Like, he really is not okay upstairs. And it wasn't just a volunteer, it was the chief, the fire department chief. So it's like, it's something. And that's happened multiple times. Kenny is not bomb droppers. No, he's not. This has happened multiple times, that bomb droppers has been active in a chat. Even when Kenny was debating somebody, I don't remember which debate it was. Bomb droppers was in the chat talking while the debate was going on. So it's not, I mean, that would, I know you wish that, and I know that you would love to have anything to pin on Kenny right now, and that you would love to deflect this situation and say, oh my goodness, look, I have proven that Kenny is bomb droppers, so therefore he's a liar. Therefore, he's lying about the fire. Therefore, I'm right. You see, I am the smartest, the most organized, the most intelligent person. I told everybody not to mess with me. These are all things that you have basically said in so many words before. Who is bomb droppers? Bomb droppers is another channel about like an atheist who essentially like exposes theist Muslims, Christians, Jews, whatever, like problematic religious peoples, basically problematic religious creators. So in this case, obviously, Ziad was the target of the expose. Yes. So anyway, and then he's like, yes, bomb droppers is Kenny. And no, he's not. It's the truth is that multiple people do not like you, Ziad. Multiple people really do not like you, and multiple people think that you're lying about this, know that you're lying about this, and yeah. So going ahead in the ramble, he said that the GoFundMe that was time-stamped on January 13th doesn't prove anything. Well, it does prove something. I was there. I was talking to him when he created it. I was talking to him on the 13th, in the early morning of the 13th, when he created it. He sent it to my email of like an hour after he created it, 8 a.m. or something, after he created it. Because remember, I was actively involving our Houston community. I was calling people. I was sending the GoFundMe to people. I was sending, like I was letting our local imams and stuff know. We have a big group in Houston called the Houston, HMG Houston Muslim Group. There's like, 10,000 Muslims in there. So I was letting, them know, because Kenny had his hands tied up. This all happened on the 13th. This happened like literally in real time as it was, as it was happening. And the family was in crisis. They had just lost their house. They had literally just lost their house. They were in crisis. I was there. I was right there with him throughout this whole thing. I was literally right. Like, did you think that he's just alone when this stuff happens? We were all right there with him. We were right there with him. But especially me, because he and I are close. He and I are, like we're co-partners of Consider This TV. And I'm the co-host of Consider This TV. It used to be just one channel, and it was only Kenny and me. So it's, he was not alone. We were all, especially me, because I'm local. So I was helping do stuff locally. It was right there. I was right there, literally. So it's crazy. It's really, really, you see the motive. He makes his motive very, very clear. He says, just wait till my next video. It's going to be called Destroying Consider This TV for Good. You will all be destroyed. Literally, this is his quote. What does it say? You will all be destroyed one piece at a time. I warned you not to mess with me. Do you hear that? You will all be destroyed one piece at a time. For what? Or what? Or what? Like, do you hear like the grandiose? I keep going back to the grandiose narcissism, or the grandiose, like, the grandiose ideas here. It's to think that like he has the capacity to come and wipe out somebody, to destroy somebody, to take them apart piece by piece. I warned you not to mess with me. Well, what? Because you're all powerful? Because you have, because you are like weaponized or something? I mean, what? What is it? Because nobody on Consider This TV is afraid of you. Especially not me. Especially not me. You're over here talking about Islamic ruling on Christmas trees. Really? Really, dude? I mean, excuse me while I, get my fainting salts, but no, man, no. It's not. No, that's not. And then you keep going on again about that tree not being the same. That tree is exactly the same. It has the same nodule. It has the same bifurcation. It has the same main split, 2 branches going off to the right, 1 branch going off to the left. He said, it looks different. The branches are different. People trim their freaking trees, dude. People trim their trees. You probably don't have trees in your apartment or whatever, but when you have a yard with trees, people trim the branches sometimes. It doesn't change the tree. It's still the same tree. It's still got the same, main parts, but no, it is the same tree. The pictures literally line up perfectly. Yes, they do. They line up exactly perfectly. Obviously, if you're standing from another side, like if you take a picture of me from the front and then a picture of me from the side, it's going to be obviously, like, please nobody take a picture of me from the side, but it's obviously going to be different. You know, you got to, I mean, let's use a little bit of mind power here. Like, let's not claim that you're very intelligent and very, you know, gifted and ultra organized and ultra capable, but then play dumb when it comes to a tree. Let's not do that, please. Don't do that, because everybody can see that it's the same freaking tree. It's got the same septic tank on the property. It's got the same everything on the property. And by the way, do you remember me? I keep saying that I live right beside Kenny. Do you guys think that I haven't seen this property? Do you think that I haven't been there? Who do you think was there when all these pictures were taken? Do you really think that after all of this going on, that I wasn't there with my friend, with my mentor, like in a way of support? Obviously with his wife too, you know. Do you really think that that's, you know, come on. Let's not go down rabbit holes about trees. Let's not do that. People trim their trees, and just because it's missing like a few of the exterior branches, it does not mean that it's not the same tree. So what I'm really, really, you know, like crazily, what I'm crazily, like astounded by, though, is the fact that he stayed fussing about Kenny's actual greatest piece of evidence, which was a video interview with the fire chief. The fire chief was one of the people on the fire team that responded to the house fire. So keep in mind that Kenny has provided at this point a copy of the official fire report, a copy of communications between himself and the fire department, like the emails and stuff. He has also provided his son's ID to verify that the name on the fire report matches his son's. He has also provided text messages from his son. He's provided text messages from his wife talking about the fire where the dates match. He's also provided pictures of the fire, pictures of the home before, pictures of the home after, showing all the damage, pictures of the inside showing all the damage, you know, after the fire was done or whatever. He's also shown like pictures of the property, you know, the home, like the outside property. Okay. Now he gets to the greatest piece of evidence, which is a video interview. So that's 10 pieces of evidence so far. This is the 11th. He gets to he gives a video interview of the fire chief who was on the responding team that went to this fire and put it out. So not only did he get an interview, the fire chief was in uniform and he was at the fire station. Like, okay. So he had a problem with the fact that he was reading from his cell phone. Well, he was reading from his cell phone because the fire report was, you know, he was checking his email probably where the fire report was, he could access it there. All government employees get work phones. So they get, they so that they can communicate like official documents, whatever. So the fact that he was reading from his phone is not suspicious at all. It is not suspicious. Because a phone, you can access all your stuff just like a computer. You know that. So he then I can't believe this. He said, this is embarrassing to even say. I have secondhand embarrassment. He accused the fire chief of possibly being paid off by Kenny. He really did that. He said possibly was he paid off? Was he paid off by Kenny? That number one, that is just extremely insulting. If you're backstage, go ahead and turn on your camera so that I know who it is. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you? So it's Brother Kenny joining us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm so glad you joined us. We were just going over the the details of Ziad's most recent video, and just about to the end where he really truly put forward the possibility that the fire chief who you interviewed on video was paid off, like that you paid him off
I know.
to give that video.
Yeah, he's implicated. He's implicated accused my son, my ex-wife, myself, and now the man who wrote the fire report. It's just absurd. But I wanted to thank you. I actually was out on a date with my wife. Just went out to eat, but I just wanted to say thank you for being, so much in defense of me and so forth. And obviously, I've told you this privately as well, but it means a lot to me. And um, obviously, anyone who has any decency within them at all can clearly see that what he's done here is try to undermine my character and so forth through desperate attempts.
To an insane degree.
Yeah.
To the extent that he's like pulling up the Islamic ruling on Christmas trees. It's that bad.
It's so ridiculous. My ex-wife never was a Muslim. That was a different period of time in my life to begin with. I was still a Muslim, but I wasn't the Muslim that I am today. And it was just that was years ago. But the mere fact that these individuals have to dig into someone's past in order to try to undermine them, it just shows what type of low, low levels they're willing to lower themselves.
They're bottom feeder. Yeah. It's so gross.
It's successful.
It's very gross.
And it's what is a Christmas tree from years ago, almost 10 years ago at this point? What does that have to do with 2021 and him slandering me about this fire? It has nothing to do with it. And
absolutely nothing.
But I seen early when the show came on, I seen the same typical Islamophobes in the chat doing their same typical anti-Islam, anti-Kenny Bomer nonsense. If you notice during the Shura Council, they were literally the only ones that were supporting Ziad. All the Muslims were against Ziad. Done is slander, and it's goes against the very grain of the Sunnah. And he's just at this point he's a dog in the background. I am going to do a show tomorrow, just a post Shura Council stream. But my thing about him is that I'm so I'm so aggravated with the whole ordeal, and the fact it's not just him, but the Christians, so-called Christians that keep making the videos. They keep talking about these things. They keep going to various chat rooms and even on Clubhouse and trying to make me look like I'm a character that I never was to begin with. And as far as trying to undermine my character and calling me an alcoholic, said I've been to prison,
It's just
calling me an
crazy.
arsonist, calling me a attempted murderer. Kenny Bowman can do no good, and despite his obvious childish bantering and his you could just hear the sound of his voice and the look on his face, and it's clear that this individual is deranged. But despite that, they're still it's crazy. It's like the people who support Trump, despite all lies that he's
Mhm,
told in his
mhm.
his deplorable character. All the Trump people who follow Trump, despite his and it's the same ordeal here. It's where people that listen to Ziad or go to his channel or whatever support him, that they can see the look on his face and the words coming out of his mouth and his poor character, but they still support him, especially when it comes to me, for that matter. And it's just disgusting, to be honest. And I'm so sick of talking about it and dealing with it. Um, but the thing is, in Surah Hujurat, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala puts uh, a command on the Muslims, and I can't remember the ayah. I'll have to get it, but says clearly that whenever this type of injustice is done, that the Muslims are supposed to seek an answer and justice for this type of situation, and the person who continues the oppression is supposed to be dealt with in that situation. So the fact of the matter is, just like I was just telling my wife here, that out of everyone, you've been the most adamant about defending me. It means it means a lot to me, and I appreciate it.
It's because
You've been
I
at the
know
forefront.
it's
Yeah,
it just I cannot stand a liar. And to be completely honest, I'm not doing anything except standing up for the truth here because I've been present for all of this and I firsthand witnessed all of this and I've literally seen all of this. I actually brought up another surah from, I mean, another ayah from Surah Hujarat. It's ayah 11, and it essentially said that men are not allowed to make fun of men, and women are not allowed to make fun of women, and that you can't call each other names.
yeah,
It's in so many words that you're not allowed to do that. Since he wants to go to levels of like let's talk about real, actual Islamic matters here. If you want to try to use the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let's talk about your behavior. You're over
yeah,
here calling names. You're over here digging through someone's past, exposing things. You're making things up that you don't know. You're saying stuff that you have no basis for. He's over here saying that only convicted felons have legal records. Are you serious? I Are you joking? I went to court for a traffic for any reason. It stays on a legal record. That's how this
well,
works.
yeah.
If
Well, plus
you have a
you can
legal
have
record,
records.
even
Yeah, you
without
can have records if you're not a felon. You can people who are charged with
absolutely
misdemeanors have
misdemeanors, exactly.
records, or people who have traffic warrants or didn't pay your taxes or your child support. You have records, so that doesn't
Absolutely.
mean that because you have a record that you're a felon. So that's the whole thing. That really annoys me.
Absolutely.
And trying to claim over and over, uh, him and these Christians claiming that I've been to prison, that I'm a convicted felon, that I'm not. I've never been convicted of a felony. I've certainly never been to prison, and it's just it's just beyond absurd. And I'm so fed up with it.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him. That's okay. He'll he'll probably come back. But yeah, so it's it's very, very it's very, you see these things when oppression happens to people, and then you think, well, this could happen to me anytime. It's you think that, and when you see oppression, okay, here's Kenny back again.
Sorry about that. I went over a bump and I pushed the
Oh,
wrong thing on my phone, but I'm
no
not going to hold
problem.
you up. We're out and about, and I was, kind of stressed out today because of all the attacks, and even despite the fact that I had overwhelming evidence that he slandered me, they
Yeah,
just continue. You think that they would have the decency to say, you know what, let's, put their duck their tails between their legs and go on about their business, but they don't do that,
no, it's fun
and
for them. It's
yeah, it's all
entertainment.
mockery, it's entertainment. And the most vile individual of it all is obviously
Yeah,
Ziad, in refusing to concede the fact that uh, he produced no evidence. He said he had irrefutable evidence that obviously he did not have.
no,
And
he didn't.
alhamdulillah, it's the thing is, all these people are going to owe me on the day of judgment. He's going to owe you on the day of judgment for his derogatory comments, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to, he's certainly going to balance the scales on the day of judgment. So really, all they're doing is adding to our blessings on that day, on the day of judgment. And so it's still frustrating. It's something we got to be patient in dealing with, and not let it overwhelm us. By no means. Obviously, we follow the path of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He's the most slandered, even though he's been uh, gone for almost over 1,400 years. He's still the most ridiculed and the most talked about and slandered, and all the name calling and so forth. He's been and a deceiver and a pervert and all those things far more than I have. So,
Right.
we're actually behind. You know, if they're willing to go to this extent, that must mean that we're doing something correct, because obviously the Prophet, peace be upon him, is the best of examples, and we know that he was doing something correct, and they're relentlessly, day in, day out, nonstop, every moment of the day. So we ask Allah to help us to endure these types of things and to increase our status on the day of judgment, and to deal. Obviously, we know He'll deal justly with these individuals on the day of judgment. So inevitably, we got to be patient in the midst of the test and the trial, and
Hmm.
know that, full justice in this life. If Ziad Karam never has the decency to say, which he did, he said in the Shura Council, that if he seen clear evidence that he would apologize. But despite seeing that clear evidence, me standing there with the assistant fire chief who wrote the fire report, he's still making excuses. So if we don't get justice in this life, justice will surely come on a day when the recompense will be unable to avoid. People can't run from the justice of Allah. Of deeds, and the scales will be brought out, and those aren't going to lie. So, uh,
Exactly.
so we'll leave them in their mockery for a period. But
Yeah,
is coming. Uh,
absolutely.
they can't escape that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm
It's
going to get out of here, but thank you again, Katerina, and I do appreciate it immensely, and may Allah bless you for your efforts and your intentions. I did, Brother Mort did send me a text today saying that he's going to
Mhm.
gather some brothers to rebuke Ziad at some point.
Well,
So
the point is that the conditions. This is my whole thing. My whole thing is that the conditions of the trial were that whoever was found to be deceptive, whoever they decided against, they had to remove their material. They had to
yeah.
remove the stuff, and then they had to just leave the other alone.
Well, yeah,
That
he
was
said he
those
wasn't
were the
gonna he wasn't gonna
conditions.
abide by those stipulations. And if you remember, Brother Mort asked him. He never did ask me this question. As a matter of fact, I felt rushed because Ziad took so long rambling I should have went the short, sweet route and just gave him. I could have proven my case within 5 minutes, literally, but I drew it out too long, and I trying to show how thorough that my evidence was on many different
Mhm.
fronts. But
Right.
nevertheless, Mort asked him, what did he want the outcome to be? What did he expect the outcome to be if I was found guilty? He asked
Mm-hmm.
Ziad that, and
Right.
Ziad said he wanted me to pay back the money to everyone, blah blah blah. But that option was never given to me. What did I want to be done to Ziad?
Exactly.
Um, and so I I was a little bit frustrated by just a couple of things. I wasn't being put on trial for something, for how I spoke to Ziad. I wasn't on trial for anything that happened in the
No.
past 10 years ago. I wasn't on trial because of a Christmas tree, or
Right.
going to Las Vegas, 10 years ago, whatever it was. That's not what the Shura Council. The Shura Council was about him trying to prove, which he's impossible. He can't do it.
Right.
Trying to prove his slanders against me, which he
Mm-hmm.
obviously failed to do. But the thing is, if like Yvonne Ridley, if she, may Allah bless the sister, but if she would have just not um, said, by example, that uh, documents on both sides could have been forged just because of online, the capability to do so.
That right.
If she didn't say that, then this would have been that just as they tried to claim that I paid off the fire chief, they would have tried to say that and so really her saying that, I talked to her afterwards and told her, it kind of posed a problem because the Christians and Ziad have still continued to use that as though she was trying to suggest that I was also possibly forged something. But she said
Exactly.
that wasn't her intention at all. Her intention was to demonstrate that in modern times it could be that someone forged this information, but she doesn't believe that transpired. But just trying to show that she wasn't biased on either side, that she was
Right.
looking at just looking at all of it sensibly and say, okay, well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people can forge stuff, but there's no evidence that transpired. And plus, I was standing there with the fire chief in the video, so
Exactly.
but, but nevertheless, it is what it is. On the day of judgment, everything's going to balance out in favor of the people who are deserving of justice. So I'm going to leave you with that. But and may Allah bless you and everyone watching now or in the future.
I mean,
And I know
exactly.
Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the final of all prophets. Alhamdulillah. So, assalamu alaikum, sister. Thank you.
Walaikum salam. I'm glad that Brother Kenny had a minute to jump in. But yes, so I think with that, we'll call it quits. We've been on for like 2 hours and 20 minutes. But mark my words. Mark my words. He's gonna do a destroying Katarina video next. And just watch. It's gonna literally it's gonna come. That's the bird. It's the you know what, guys? Hold on just a second. Hold on. Hold on. This bird is just bird himself. Nobody. 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 I'm sorry about that. He was like beeping. My bird does this thing where he beeps. He beeps and does this like alarm sound, which is what you were just hearing. It's terrible. So, anyways, right. So, what I was saying was bird dust. Hi, bird. Say hello. Say hello. Kiss. Thank you. Kiss. Say hi, bird. Hi, bird. Hi, bird. He's supposed to raise up one wing. Hi, bird. Say hi, bird. Hi, bird. cute. So, anyways, hi, bird. He's a baby. Give me a kiss. Hello. It's a baby. So, oh, what I think is that he is going to. Does the bird have a microphone on? Sis, no. Are you a sister or a brother, Riley? I didn't ask. Riley, I've heard as a boy's name and as a girl's name, as a guy and a girl. I wanted to ask which one. Let the haters hate. Wissam, you're exactly right, because they're gonna hate no matter what. They literally already do. So they're literally gonna keep doing it, and it's not. Oh, you're a brother. Okay, awesome. Okay, yes, brother Riley. The bird does not have a microphone on. He is extremely loud. Yes, you are. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. He's extremely loud. But if anybody wants to see, he is a large hook-billed parrot. He's a cockatoo. These birds are, any large parrot is, like when I say an extremely lot of work, I mean an extremely lot of work. Any exotic pet is a lot of work. But parrots are especially hard work because you have to spend they're so intelligent is the thing, that you have to spend a lot of hours a day, like holding them, being with them, and all of that stuff. No, bird. He's like, Mommy, where's your ear? He knows my ear is inside here. And no, you can't. No. I love you. I love you. I love you. You want to see something that he can't resist? Watch this. A bird, a bird, a bird, 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 a bird, a bird, a bird, bird, bird. It's a spider bird, a spider bird, a bird, a bird, a bird, 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 a bird, a bird, a bird, 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 a bird, a bird, a bird, bird, bird. It's a bird, a bird, a bird, 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 a bird, a bird. Woo! No biting. Say woohoo! No bird. Come here. No biting. Yeah, that's a bird dance. He's a baby. Come here. Come here. Now you want to show our friends the favorite thing that you can say? Say, come here. Come here. Come here. Say, come here. Say, who is it? He said, who is it? You want to whisper? Who is it? Come here. Come here. Who is it? Say, who is it? Who is it? Come here. Say, who is it? Who is it? Say, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Say, who is it? Get out of my glasses, bird. Who is it? Who is it? Bird. Sometimes he won't say like the thing that I really want him to say. It's a bird. Sometimes he says, I love you, baby bird. It's so cute. When he's on his cage and he wants to come off, he'll say things like, I love you, baby bird. Or, it's a baby. Come on. Come here. He says the sweetest things. Anyways, so I'll let you guys go. Good night. Say salam alaikum. Bye, bird. Say bye, bird. Bye, bird. Say bye, bird. Bye, bird. Say bye. Bye, bird. Not hello. Say bye, bird. Say bye-bye. 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 Okay. He wants to play. Okay. All right. He just really wants to play. Say bye-bye. See you next time. No, no biting. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, you guys. Be safe and see you next time.